on, good people. Who is here? It's probably a short one here. Just play around for a little bit with the cards, see who shows up. What up, Manny? What up, Daniel Drury? Aldrin, what's good, people? This probably won't be too long. I won't be on here for too much. But I just figured I'd get on here for a second, see who. Is that what you needed? Is that what you? That was you, Manny? I felt like I seen the back call. Yeah, Daniel. My day has been. I've been in I don't know, outer space. Ain't really been thinking about much today, so I just figured see what show up and if anybody needed some cards. Oh man, I did a lot of eating today. Lots of Indian food though. Indian food and some broccoli. What up, Gideon? What up, Johnny K? So Manny, what do you need? Oh, boogies. What's everybody else up to? What's going on here? Because I didn't really have anything to talk about. That's why I said I'm just gonna pull the cards out and let you all decide if you want me to throw some cards for you, whatever. I just had a couple minutes to kind of crush here. I didn't have anything too important to say today. It was more of a meditative day. I think it's something to do with the oh, where did the moon go? Oh, the moon's up there. Almost out of energy. There's not much moon there, huh? Nah, Gideon, I live in New Orleans. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. What are you doing? I got to pet a dog. Yeah, New Orleans, man. Florida, I don't know. I might be kicking it in Florida. Maybe for the winter, maybe for the spring. I don't know. I might make a little move there for a little bit because I kind of want to get back to the beach for a little while.
I think Avery is so in. Will is just so good at. I think Will is just like a.
What's up, Jordan? Did you get my text or did you get my email?
Yeah, I don't know.
And yeah, what's up, Manny? What you want though? You put the back call out for me, so I'm here. No. Oh, it's very simple. You distribute for that company? Is that what you do? Do you distribute for them, or are you like, where are you in there? Like, because I might be able to hook you up with some business, like with this place right here. I know the general manager, and they're looking for a lot of products. So I figured I'd send it your way. Yeah, exactly. Cool. Yeah, that's exactly what he looks for. Because the last distributor he had he was having a hard time coming by things. So CBD stuff, yeah. They're not yours. You just distribute through them. It's not your company. Like you're. Well, whatever. We'll do this over email or whatever. Just let me know, because if you get discounts or whatever, like whatever position you're in, because I don't know exactly. It's not yours. Conscious Flowers. Okay, well, I'll hook you up with this dude and you guys can discuss, and if something comes out of it, cool, you know what I mean? I'd rather, I'll help you out if I can. So what up, Jesse Mom? Oh, Jesse Mom put up a picture. Look at that. I always appreciate when people put up pictures so I can kind of get a little bit of an idea who I'm speaking to. Yeah.
Maybe it's just me. That's why. I'm convinced that
Okay, I don't know how much bulk it would be, but yeah. Okay, cool.
It's like I don't think.
Well, it did work, man. You can't just be. You're gonna piss the genie off. You know, you can't just rub the genie's lamp and then he jumps out and you're like, nah, it just was unacceptable. Now I know when you call me, I'm gonna be like, I don't know if I'm gonna answer that phone call. Braces? I mean, yeah, you know, I think there's a good use for them, obviously. And what was the other part of the question? Yeah, for toothpaste, charcoal and turmeric. Charcoal, turmeric, and then whatever mint or whatever. Yeah, that's pretty easy, pretty simple stuff. And then, you know, like some people use more abrasive things, but I think the charcoal pretty much does the job. Yeah, and remember, man, everything about dental health is all related to your spine and what grows out of you. You know, these are your spine, which is connected to your organs. So every one of these teeth in here are connected to your organs. And so the focus, if you want better dental health, is literally to work on the organs. That's the product. That's the result of, you know? You've never heard of the other things. You've never heard of mint, peppermint, and turmeric. Just like, you know, the orange stuff that the Indian uses and everything. Turmeric, T-U-R-M. Oh, wait, T-U-M-E-R-I-C. Turmeric. Yeah.
Are you gonna stay in the same room at all times?
Hold up, Lion Strong. Aldrin, is lemon water fast better? Not necessarily, but I think if you're doing it for a short period of time, I think it has a lot more benefits to people that aren't familiar with fasting. Let's say that, because water fasting is going to have a different effect. It's just slightly different. You're cleaning the body differently. I think if you consider what the lemon juice is going to be doing, you're going to be working with your blood a lot more, rather than, you know, creating an environment in all of your systems. Like the water is going to do a deeper cleaning, but obviously you're adding an acidic substance which becomes alkaline, so it's more of a blood. It's working in the blood first. So I think there's a reason that lemon water is a good idea. Yeah. But I wouldn't do that for a long period of time, because I don't think you're going to get into the point. If you're going to do it for more than like a week, I think would be the limit for doing a lemon water fast, because I don't know what happens in the stomach if it's really going to shut off all your systems. Because if it's not shutting off all your systems, then your body's still going to be requiring the sugars and the glucose, which will be taken from the muscle up until the point that your body realizes you're not eating, and at that point is when it stops taking from the muscle. So, yeah. Got up Heartfire. Yeah, Gideon, turmeric. Turmeric is good stuff. Heartfire coming through with the just sage wisdom every time. Stress from school. I don't know what I think that's, you know, people often try to find a way to de-stress themselves. Like, what de-stressing is kind of like, what is stress, right? What is that tension, and what is release? What are things that cause you pleasure? I don't know. It could be something as simple as knitting a scarf. It could be reading a book, or for most people, if it's connected to school, you probably want to find some physical activity, and that will help to kind of relieve stress of the mind, because most of what you'd probably be talking about is stresses from the mental realms. So by engaging your physical body, finding something like that is probably your best route. It probably won't be more reading. You probably wouldn't read to relax after you've been reading textbooks all day. And again, and some people, maybe some people are into like learning all the time. So maybe learning something new isn't even a stress for you if it was something like an instrument. But then again, that might be too much activation for the brain. So you want to go in a different direction. If you got the cash, go get a massage. It's nothing better than that. If you got an extra $50, $60, I don't know where you live, but go get a massage. That'll do wonders. Yeah, that's a great Heartfire. That stress is underneath it is just obviously an occurrence of a vibration, right? And that anxiety or stress or depression, all of it is, it's just bound up balls of energy in places, and you can choose to use it in a different way. Some people thrive with stress because the way they perceive the stress creates different hormones, creates different, like, their outlook on what that stress is and what that stress means. People that perform under pressure versus other people that don't, because the stress is considered different. If there's some things that I can do under amounts of pressure because I enjoy that, but other things I don't so much. Like, obviously, growing up playing sports, you deal with a physical pressure in a different way. You could deal with a mental pressure, say, like I play pool or I play darts. That's a different kind of pressure. It's a mental pressure of focus. But yeah, just adjusting your gauging of what the stress is, anxiety or whatever. That's Oh yeah, Reza. I mean, that's anybody knows that. Like, pretty much the easiest answer to everything that we talk about in here is like, go drink your piss. I know that if I'm having like an imbalanced day, as I get back to Heartfire's first thing about saying the balance of things, getting into the balance of things, my level-headedness and my like anxieties just go away. I just become a lot more calm. What up, Andrew Christensen? Yeah, the hot and cold sensations. That's a big thing of doing like hot and cold showers, to kind of acclimate your body to different sensory inputs. Oh, Jordan doing the liquids. Nice. That's what I've always enjoyed doing. At first, when I was doing all of these fasts, I would always be very much, I'm reading the book and who's the teacher? What do they say about it? And then after having done it for so long, I found myself more into just going liquid and finding some sort of, hey, what works with what I'm doing? Is it going to be tea? Do I like honey in it? Do I want just juices today? Am I going to get on the piss thing? Am I going to do... So I like to be able to just like feel my body out and say, okay, what do I need? What do I want today? What kind of experience do I want? Do I want more cleansing? Do I want more energy? So I just work through the liquids that way. And then understand, like, obviously once you know a little bit more about herbs, you can kind of use your teas to kind of adjust your mind throughout the day. Heartfire, isn't that the the easiest teaching in the world? But everybody here has to go through such a number of hoops to deprogram the mind towards what is the essential good or happiness or pleasure, and isn't that why everybody's here, trying to figure that one out? Well, Archon, sometimes that's a good thing, deep rest isn't a problem. You have to understand, depression is a result of needing to rest, deep rest. Now, You're talking about spending your bank account of currency inside of the body. Sometimes it's a good thing to be depressed and be in that mode of getting into, which really relates to delta sleep and getting into, you know, the deeper cleansing in the body. So people can go through depression during a fast because they literally need deep rest. You're almost forcing depression to some degrees. You'll find yourself in very altered states. So you don't make the dilemma that you see as being depressed or having like that equal opposite. Don't double the dilemma by saying, oh, it's something to worry about, because it's not. And solutions for that is really always back to the piss helps. Like, that's one of the easiest things you can do. Or get into, if you're capable of it, light therapy. Find lights. There's cheap programs, like maybe even free, for your phone, that you can do like light therapy sessions that are like 10-15 minutes long, and it just blinks different colors in your eyes, and those can help relieve depression and stresses. In fact, I have a couple on here. Maybe I'll try to remember to talk about that next time, and I'll find what the programs are. I haven't used them in a while, but swinging on the pendulum. Have you heard the book Stalking the Wild Pendulum? It's by Itzhak Bentov. It's a great book. He shows consciousness through a mechanical engineer's mind. It's really interesting. Wow, that's Heartfire. That's interesting. I've been, I wouldn't say a more intense, but longer lasting. You know, 3 days of awesome on a fast is awesome. It's well better than, you know, an extreme plateau of something for 3 hours. You know, but yeah. Yeah, I can. That's why the Lion's Run. That's why it was called tarot. I was gonna start doing some cards, and then we just got some lazy banter. Yeah, there you go. Heartfire. I went through that very big. The nothing can be the addiction. That's the whole thing. The double bind, as Alan Watts puts it. You know. I want to be attached to nothing, but then the wanting to be attached to nothing, you're attached to the not wanting. And so I found myself in that place during fasting often. Well, not recently, but when I first was doing fasting, like, oh, there's nothing that I need, and it became more of a like, oh, I don't need that, and I was kind of separating myself from experiencing things, because I thought that was like, it would give me some degree of enlightenment. It added something to my life, but in hindsight, I probably wouldn't have avoided so many things when I was like after a fast, where I was like, no, I can do without. And Lion Strong, yeah, I'll pull that card for you. Do you want to ask me a question, or do you just want to divine it yourself? Yeah, Heartfire. That's another good thing. After a fast, like as soon as it hits you, actually as soon as it hits your mouth, especially if you're very if you're very capable of feeling the subtle energies, like as soon as you bite into a fruit, you'll feel the electrical charge. This is proof that the food isn't actually giving you energy in your stomach, as I've made very, very clear. It's the electrical charge of the food. And as soon as it hits your piezoelectric teeth and goes into your skeletal system, you feel it. And it's going into your blood through your tongue. So you're getting most of your energy immediately as soon as it hits your mouth. And this is why you don't cut food. Because when you cut food, you fractionate it. You fractionate the energetic charge. It would be like taking something that's 100 amps and cutting it up into smaller pieces, and you'd be, so if I would, instead of picking up an apple and eating an apple, I get 100 amps of charge. If I chop that up, now I have little pieces that are actually fractioned to even less, maybe 5 amps right here. You're getting a smaller quantity of the whole is even greater than the divided up parts. Not to mention that you're fracturing. And here's where if Electric Tao was here, he could probably jump in. The idea of the electric universe theory, like, so you're cutting into electricity, and so we even got into this. This is why using different instruments to cut your food, if you're going to cut it, is a much better idea. Ceramic, if you can find copper, or wood is fine. Wood knives are good.
It's like a girl with brunette hair after something.
Well, thank you, Heartfire. That's really excellent. I appreciate that. Eli Jen. Oh, I bet that you probably felt that burn, didn't you? That's crazy. Okay, Lion Strong, I got you a card.
Is he really?
Mm-hmm. It's so interesting that when your body becomes clear to what is actually food, it's simple. It's when you actually realize that the body and the mind have two separate states. And it's literally two different brains. You have a body brain and you have the brain inside of your head that you use incorrectly mostly. But once you identify that there's a separate thing going on there, that your body will speak like what it requires, like a dog. You know, like a dog wants that thing. Like your body, when it's fully clean, when it's you know what the good food is. You know what the it's so interesting that if you haven't done it, explaining it to somebody, like they don't really know. You can't, like your body knows exactly what good food is. Man, itchy out here, yo. So here's your card. What up, Cam? Love Heartfire with the great comments always in the side over here. And here's your card, Lion Strong. Interesting card. It's exactly to do with what. It's exactly what you were talking. It's exactly what you asked for. It's the World card. 21. It's upside down though. So, is this a reference to? Do you need to turn your world the right side up? Is that the lesson? Is that do you feel that you're not headed in the correct direction? That you need to flip things that way? I mean, because why would you ask the question if you knew the answer? So apparently, maybe you should adjust your path 180 degrees. Because that's a pretty... that you asked about the path of your life and your world. It's interesting that would show up that way. Yeah, so basically that has to do with obstacles and things. And all you have to do is flip it over. As with most things in this world.
I think my orthodontist was onto something.
Cam,
I figured out his master plan. So he over summer
I'm glad you enjoyed, man.
retainer inside of my teeth, so it's kind of like braces where you stick it inside your teeth, so you don't have to put on like those ones. But then instead of making my teeth,
I hear you, Cam. That's what happens.
over here
better than
like not like very visible. It's like getting very visible.
Yeah, there's no right or wrong. Just I always say it's
So I think
healthy,
my teeth would get super
not as healthy, not very healthy. There's only levels of a decayed seed and a decayed idea and an unworthy seed to be planted. It's not bad, but you put it in the ground, you're not going to have great results. That's the. No, it is hot is your god if you know, fire is your god if you're you know, in Alaska, and if you want a hot beach, a nice pina colada, nice icy pina colada is god.
Oh, she is so badass. He has like kind face.
So now you can feel more things when you're playing ball. I did like a 7-day fast, and it was while I was doing a lot of training. When I was living in Indiana, playing a lot of basketball, and during this fast, like, I was also doing some other things with isometrics and some other flexibility training using voodoo bands, if you've never heard of them. And I basically added so many different, I don't know, just different things in my game that weren't there, just changed because all of a sudden I had the capacity to do slightly tiny little movement patterns that were different that changed the entire way I played basketball. Like, you know, gaining just even, you know, 3 inches on my vert, which happened over like the course of a week, and then being able to just make a couple movements because something felt different in my body, or I could just adjust where I was sitting while I was dribbling. And then like the feeling that I was like, well, I'm feeling myself jump off my feet rather than jump off of my legs. Fast can change things up for sure. Some little micro. When you kind of notice the fast twitch muscles. Yeah, isometrics and plyometrics, and yeah, and look into voodoo bands. Voodoo bands are one of the greatest things on the planet for increasing flexibility, helping injured muscles. You know, they're awesome stuff. Yeah, yeah, winter can. It's funny, but if you know how to change, if you know how to change your polarity in your person, the winter you can feed off of it in the same way. I mean, think of like Rocky Balboa, you know what I mean? Because winter, there's something very clean and refreshing about it, and there's something to do with the electrical system that changes with what ice is and what cold is. There's a cleanliness to it. But most people, because of the way they live their lives, they're all put all the things on, they're inside, they're close the windows. It can be very, 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 you know, this is like seasonal depressive disorders and everything about just wanting to hibernate during the winter. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, like being able to know how and when to empty yourself out. So you know, all my older videos on like feasting and fasting and like emptying out. Like sometimes you can have energy, but it's not good energy. You know, sometimes excuse me. Sometimes it's a good idea to just get rid of energy. Like it could be weighing you down. I mean, think about times that like, yeah, giving something away is a better idea. Getting rid of that little thing that's like, maybe you got something in your house that's just been sitting there for 6 months that you never use. Is it better to just sit there or get rid of it? And you see, people have things in their body, just little pockets of energy that sometimes it's a better idea to get rid of the energy, you know? What up, Katesh? It was very, very windy yesterday here. It's not rainy. Definitely a lazy day though. It was very sunny today here. Yeah, I like that idea though, Heartfire, about molding the water as a water-based creature. You know, to be able to adjust and mold your environment literally internally by thoughts. You know, moving water around your body. Lion's trying. You're asking the tarot, or you're asking me? You're saying, are you asking the tarot for you? What is the best diet for you? I don't know how it would. I don't know how that I could read that off of that. I don't. It's kind of a interesting. That'd be a pretty complicated thing to ask those, because you'd have to have a couple more questions in there. I think it might be a little.
And you could tell.
That'd be a strange one.
And his eyes are so hazy.
Let's just say I don't play poker.
But you can't even be like, Alex, I'm here.
I haven't played cards in a very long time.
Anthony was telling me the story about how David lost his credit card, shit.
Yeah, that's funny you say that, Heartfire, about everyone has a shape. There was a quote that I read earlier today, and it's just in the tip of my brain, and it was about people's shapes, and like how people are, you know, you get into all like people's character traits as what kind of animals are they, but then there's this kind of general shape that people have. Manny, you want to know if you should go to Job Corps? Okay, that's a simple one. That's a simple one with a simple answer.
We were dancing for like at least like a good while. Who was he even? Was he drinking with Tommy, which is by himself?
Yeah, diet does mean a lot of things, you know. Because you're talking about, like, if you're really getting into it, like your diet, like what TV show should you be watching? That is literally part of someone's diet. What music should you be listening to? That's part of your diet. We're talking about all levels of, you know, I did it, you know, if you've listened to Saul Williams before, he talks about you got to consider everything that's coming into your entire being as part of your diet. There you go, Manny. Should you go to the Job Corps? I could see this card popping up. You know which one this is? This is the 16th card of the Major Arcana. It's the Tower. The Tower usually is people jumping off of a building. This one, it's just a guy that throws some clay pots off. Nonetheless, still has all of the Tower principles, which, funny enough, I might have made that happen, because I had a feeling that I wanted the cards to go a certain direction. So if I did influence the cards a little bit there, that's why that exact one I'd seen it coming up. So that's Saint Simeon the Stylite. That's what that card is. And so it means challenging the unknown, to refuse the traditions of the past. So if that's something that you wouldn't have done, then maybe you should. Or but on the contrary, if you find Job Corps to be something that is tradition for you, then maybe the answer is no. Yeah, that's for you to divine there. But it certainly was a very obvious card. Definitely a card relevant to that decision. What up, River Shaman? Her name's Devon. Interesting. Yeah. What do you want to know? It's her intentions, and then the card about your connection. Okay, her intentions and then your connection.
Where did he stay last time?
Hmm. Interesting.
I like that.
Her intentions. The hermit.
I'll see 3.
Hermit upside down. So her intentions. Let me see here. Let's see what my hermit buddy has to say for you. This is St. John the Baptist. Interesting. If he was upright, it actually says the term celibacy in here, but it was upside down. So in a negative connotation, sad, solitude, exaggerated prudence, and self-pity. So maybe she's a little more reserved and self-pitying and things. I don't know. The other one is the moon for your connection. The moon. And in this deck, it's not necessarily just the moon, it's called the Ascension. And it's attraction to the unknown. Literally it says attraction to the unknown. Supernatural. Adventure. So yeah, apparently it looks like you guys will have some fun adventures, but her motivation this evening or whenever you're going to hang out might be a little less than hoped for the evening. Very interesting, those good answers to your question. She wants to make you not a hermit. Yeah, that's the adventure card, you know? Yeah. Lion strong. I'm not gonna answer that question for you. You know the answer. Remember though, as Alan Watts says, I think is always hilarious. We don't live in a materialist culture because no one has any respect for material. Everything's a product that turns into waste. Nobody cares about things. So being a materialist isn't all that bad. You can become materialist to have some sort of value from material. But the asshole part. I think that's an easy answer for you. Cam, what's your sign, Cam? So she hot and fiery, huh? What's your sign? What's your sign? Dimension extensions, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm getting back into the rhythm of the urine, man. It comes and goes. But I'm back on the piss wagon, if you can be. Yeah, that's feeling the energy from it. See, it was funny when I was doing my fast in Indiana that I was talking about earlier. I wasn't using any urine, but it would have been even more intense, I'm sure. Man, this is that chrono. I don't know. You know, it's there, so it does have an effect. So I don't, saying it's not natural to it, even if it is what my supposition is, like, of course it has an effect. It's like we might not, that car is artificial, right? But it certainly has an effect on things. So of course it's going to be used in the context of outcome of something. It's part of the equation. But I suppose it's only part of the equation as much as we allow it to be. I think that's one of the more we can overcome whatever the sway or power of the moon is, where I don't think you can overcome the power of the sun because essentially you are the sun. So It would just be a matter of how to obtain it. Like, no, not obtain it because you have it. How to contain it and, you know, transmute it.
You know how to bullshit about art? Like, you're bullying with whatever. You're bullying? You're bullying. You're bullying with whatever shit you do.
Ah, so dimension extensions. That's interesting. So you're kind of like, kind of there, not so there. Like maybe, you know, it's very. The moon to me, it speaks a little bit to the Geministic nature of things too, as it can be an empty moon or a full moon. It's very much in energetic flux all the time. What's up, Miss Natasha? I've never seen the blue orbs off of the moon. I don't do much moon gazing. Now and then. Oh, the Cancer is ruled by the moon. See? I did not know this. Huh. That makes a lot of sense. Considering the Cancers that I've known. Interesting. Yeah. I've noticed the moody Cancers for sure. Yeah, the urine in the jungle, urine in the concrete jungle too. You know, I think it's even more important here. You know, like in what people, the Babylonian Empire or whatever people call it, the city matrix, the scape of, you know, it's even more important to use it here to navigate. I've never read the Upanishads. I've bits and pieces. After moon gazing, they become feminine. Interesting. More of a sparkle. Lion strong. I don't quite. What do you mean? How can you last long eating fruits? Where you live. If you live somewhere where it's not warm all the time, it wouldn't be a very good idea to just be eating fruits. If you lived somewhere cold, you'd want to be eating cooked food and root vegetables. What up, Sun Soul? Torin, you know, I don't know astrology like that, you know. It's one of the one subject that I'd never deeply researched because I understand it in real time with people, and like I probably should just spend the time and, you know, 2 or 3 weeks, and just so that way it's easy for me to chit chat about, because I get it. I obviously all of my work uses it pretty abundantly, but I don't specifically know, you know. I just I've made my own overlaying of what the astrology looks like without using the old technical terms.
No, that's it. I think that's good. What is this? They sell like
Divination
it's
coffee.
Cam, cynical. We're all cynical somewhat by nature, huh? Coming out the womb. Manny Farm, is Earth artificial replication? I don't know. I don't think it really matters, because you're having this experience, you know. It's like your dream is just as important as being on Earth, because they both give you some sort of experience. Mental, some of it is physical in the dream world if you're that subtle, that much subtle energy affects you. But
Poor Dylan. Our personal show.
Getting shouted at to drive to
paid Uber.
But yeah, so I don't think, I mean, to me it's always like, artificial or not, it's the same thing with the moon, same thing with anything. It's like, well, we're here having this experience, yes? Hold on 1 second, y'all. That was awesome. My dude just walked by, and I guess he didn't realize I was sitting here. And just like, old guy, nice suit on, whatever. Just like, basically farted like nobody was around. It was nice. I was like, yeah, buddy. He's like, oh shit, somebody was standing there? Somebody sitting over there? The obsidian, I like, yeah, obsidian is what's up. I got some obsidian on right here. Aldrin. Can I pull a card for what should I focus on? You gotta kind of readdress, you gotta kind of make the question a little different, because you know your answer is going to be in the form of an energy system. It's not going to specifically tell you. That's like a really big, multifaceted question. That would involve me pulling a bunch of cards and I think I need to do a little bit of mustache trimming. I got that one little curly keeps tickling me. That's right, man. You don't really matter. What, you know? It's like with anything, man. It's just a ride. Enjoy it, you know? Whatever that means. It's a mental, you know, you're trapped inside of your head. We're trapped inside of everything. Oh, inside of another box, inside of another box, inside of another box. Just change the box. Change what you're doing. Man, that's really interesting. 4 days straight. Is he fasting and doing anything else? Dimension extension. I try charging it in the sun. See if you get a different result. Because the moon to me seems like an extractor. So when someone says they're charging their crystals in the moon, what they're really doing is they're cleaning their crystals in the moon. The moon is extracting negative energies off of there, which is a huge benefit to, that gets into all the good things about the moon magic and all of this. But charge them after putting them in the moon to pull everything out of it that's kind of negative. Then you put it in the sun and charge it with which is funny enough, which would be negative ions. So go yell, Lion Strong. Go be like a lion. Yes, Unsoul. Can you get 1 or 3? I can do 3 for you. Tell me what you want. And what dreams for 4 days straight? Yeah, that is pretty crazy. You guys just get to watch me sit here and pick my nose. Because that is crazy. I just, has he changed his diet? Is he fasting? Because these kind of things can happen. And it's not necessarily draining per se, because he could be extracting, like if he got bad energy, too much energy. Oh, isn't that great? Heartfire, those are the crazy ones. Where you're like inside of a dream, inside of a dream. Hold up, yeah, let me find a tissue or something. Yeah, the dream inside of a dream on top, like the Inception thing, where you're in like full on, like it's as real as this. Yeah, that's when you have to get into the Savan Bomar kind of knowledge of how to run 3 platforms at once. The brain has to operate slightly different. This is a lot of this is why I always kind of talk about, like, going back to all of my earliest works is about reprogramming the brain. It's actually taking programs out of the brain from the way that it used to be running, so you can run parallel processing stations inside of the mind, rather than it's just a big dump into one thing, meaning this reality. We need to open up your brain so you can run parallel systems at the same time, meaning you could be doing this and then, you know, go into a little theta right now and jump into another reality. Oh, dimension extensions. He doesn't masturbate, and that's why it's happening. He has too much energy. This is the dilemma. He has quibbles. He has quibbles with his energy and releasing semen. Like, how old is your friend? I'm guessing pretty young, because you know, sometimes energy must be extracted. You know, maybe that's telling him he should maybe masturbate. Not everything that is pulling energy from is necessarily a vampiric or whatever. I think his mind is probably doing that as a you know, in a very higher light of this. It'd be like a higher self saying, yo, you have too much stored up energy. You do something, this needs to be, and then that becomes a mental quibble, right? If it's happening 4 days in a row, like, you know, I think maybe he should consider what his relationship is to pleasure. A lot of people don't masturbate because they have a perception of pleasure is no good. Other people, you know what I mean? Like, there's deep-seated emotional baggage there that 4 days in a row, that's quite a bit. But in the best way, don't look at it as like something vampirically stole his energy, but like, shit, a wet dream's a wet dream. I mean, shit. I mean, some wet dreams are better than real life, right? It's like, well, the worst part is just waking up and like, oh, well, this is a mess. Did I pee my pants? Or waking up and going and not having remembered the dream, that's not as good. But if you wake up like having fully been immersed in it, even if from like a third person perspective, how's he going to be angry that he got the you get your nut and you're angry about it? That's pretty deep stuff there. Yeah, so Sunso, let me know. I'm still behind here. I'm at like 9:10. So if you tell me what you want the cards for. Say, Aldrin, one card on what should you focus on yourself? What should you focus on yourself? How about give me, should I focus on blank? Or you can just put that in your head. Here, it won't tell you what to focus on. That's, again, I would have to pull the rest of the cards up to kind of turn you that way, because we're just dealing with, you know, major arcanic forces here that kind of is going to give you, it will tend toward yes or tend towards no, tend toward deviate the path or good idea. So this will be, you don't even have to type it, you can just keep it in your head. But should it be, should you focus on what you're focusing on now, or should you alter your path? Or, I mean, if you put that in your mind, whatever you want it to be. Moon's popping up all night, huh? It's a moon card again, huh? Do you remember what the moon card is? Do you remember how the moon works? The ascension. It's a trip, an attraction to the unknown, supernatural visions. So, however that fits into you learning how to divine for yourself, if that was, you know, hopefully that gives you a little bit of an answer. It seems like adventure, something new, prosperous. You was inside 3 dreams one time, Heartfire? Yeah, I got to the 4th level one time, I had 3 running simultaneously where I knew where I was in every one. And then at 4th level, that became absurd because then I couldn't quite grasp 3 something this solid. So I knew my first body was sleeping, right? And then the second one I went into a meditation, and the third one I kind of fell asleep or whatever. And that 4th one that I woke up and I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, now I don't remember where my bodies are. And then that was good enough to just go back up to body number 1. Yeah. Or whatever this thing is. Lion Strong, should you eat fruit at night? Probably not. You know, you might get too much energy. You know? But again, like, it depends on what the fruit is, what time it is, what's your goal. Some fruits are actually really good to help you dream. So, potassium-rich foods are said to. I don't know if it's potassium from the banana, but, you know, just getting into the standard potassium and magnesium are always going to assist in that process anyways. Yeah, psychic vampires can and do exist, but I think there's always those putting up the guards and the borders around your consciousness. Alright, Cam. Dimension, it's not funny either. I mean, well, there's the dilemma. It's supposed to be fun. Wicked, Cam. Appreciate it, man. For sure.
If I could trust him anyway, get all fucked up and fall down the steps or something, it'd be alright.
Yellow Dreamland. Yeah, that's for sure, Heartfire. You can always tell when you're in someone's presence. Yeah. What's up, I know? Can I dream walk without trying to? What do you mean? Like, can I get into the astral realms and things? What do you mean? When you say dream walk, like, can I get into something like this? Like a reality that is like this? Without attempting to? Most of the time it has been. If that's the... Other times making an effort gets in the way of it. But then there's other times that, you know, trying to have an astral projection or an out-of-body experience, you know, there's steps you go through and it can make it happen. And again, it's always diet related and what else is going on. Like, what am I ingesting? What's going on? Am I really focused on this world right here? And there's these things kind of change from time to time for me. Alright, Sun Soul. Okay, you said surprise. You want to surprise you? I'm going to surprise you with the card. I'm going to tell you what it means. Just for you. I don't even know what it means. There you go. The Chariot. I always like this card. It's a guy sitting there. Here, let me look at it this way. It's upside down though. And my dude's sitting here by the river, just like throwing a cloth, or maybe the cloth is coming from the guy above him. He's like, what up, big flying shaman dude? What's going on? Yeah, the Chariot, the seventh card. It's called the Ascension of Elijah. Yes. So look up Elijah, and then you can kind of, since it was upside down, it'd be looking at things in an altered way, not having so much focus on maybe maybe mistakes that you've made in your life that they're in the past, move on. Like that's kind of the story. That you're here now. Let's create from this moment forth. Oh man, River Shaman. Yeah, I mean, ability and lucidity. There's a parallel that you can run it with this life. The more aware you are in this life, the more aware the dream world becomes as well. So these little conscious moments of going, am I dreaming? Where am I? And participating, you'll start to reprogram your subconscious mind and your conscious mind, because that's where that division is. When you get into dreams, you're not remembering them because there's no connection to your conscious awareness, and so you're trying to get back into the subconscious dream world or the unconscious below awareness, and you want to bring that up and dip into it with your conscious mind in the dream world. So it's simple things that you'll be doing during the day, like right now. If I adjust my breathing, I'm adjusting my brain waves, and then that breathing pattern that I start to adjust now will start to take over. That when I go to sleep at night, I'll start breathing differently. Most people they might have a weird breathing pattern because the rhythm of their daytime breathing actually then predicates how they'll be breathing at night, and whether the body needs to get into a delta mode, or so like a deep healing mode, or if by training yourself you'd be putting yourself into a theta brainwave that will transition into the dream world. So becoming more lucid, it becomes, there's tactical ways of going about this. There's methodologies to do this. And a lot of it is obviously based directly on how you can control your breathing practices. And then the other things are just like standard little things, like considering what you're consuming all day long. Is this the right thing? Do I need this? Is this what I should be focused on? Is this the music I should be listening to? Have I gone into other people's dreams? I mean, I'm sure I have. I'm sure I've been out of body and walked into someone's, place that was like, I don't know if it was real time. It seemed real time. People recently, there's a bunch of people that recently have said that I've been in their dreams, like very, very vividly. Like, so I assume, it might even be something that I'll do in a week, broadcasting backwards, or something that I don't remember doing in real time with them. So, yeah, I haven't consciously done it too many times. I know that, but there's a few people that I'm pretty certain I was either they jumped into mine or I jumped into theirs, or we just went to a neutral meeting ground or something. There was some, that I'm pretty sure that this person I hung out with. Heartfire. I like ghee and coconut oil. Those are great sources of once in the morning. Yeah. I don't know about times of day to use them properly. I would think using them at night would be the best time. To put the fat into the body at night so you process it at night. Yeah. Yeah, man. So yeah, just flip it around. I think in the morning. I think I'd go the route of. I'd probably distilled water, then urine throughout the day, and then the ghee or coconut oil at night. Zach Chrono and Lionstrong coming through with the strength of the melanated ones. Well, fruit and nuts with urine compared to a diet of I've never had a specific regimen. My diet has always been in flux. I've never had done any certain thing within my diet regimen for too long of a time to have like, here's the results of 3 months of doing this. But there was probably, you know, the closest I've done is like just juices and nut milks. Hey, so check it out, y'all. My phone is just about dead, so I'm happy to, you know, I'll see how I feel in about 45 minutes. I might jump back on, but I got like 2 more minutes here. Aldrin, you talking to me? You had we went grocery shopping? That's excellent. Well, that's cool. Born to be alive. That's cool. I listen to myself sometimes before I go to sleep too. Because sometimes whenever I'm doing a long video with you guys, because of where I'm kind of gathering info from, I don't really, it's not like a prepared something. So like listening to it, I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, cool. So I kind of get to hear myself again for the first time sometimes. It's pretty interesting. Most of the time I'm pretty aware of most of what I'm saying, but there are fun little downloads once in a while. So check it out, yeah. If you guys want, I might be back. What up, State of Readiness? Sorry you came right towards the end. But yeah, my phone is almost dead here. So I'm gonna make my little bike ride home. And I might check you guys out when I get back there. Yeah? Cool. Awesome. Good to talk to you guys. Well, maybe we'll chill soon. And as always, give me thumbs up if you like. And you can find all of the things beneath for all the future audiences to push the donation buttons and give me some of your currency. Give me the likes. Yeah, cool guys. All right, we'll talk soon, y'all.